Hi, San Miguel Canine Perspective. Today we have Zuma, our new daycare and train. And in this video, we're going to be going over just finding the working number, what number we're going to be using for her training. So first, e-collar is already on. We're using the 280C, which has 127 levels. On the remote, on the front, we have the pager to vibrate function. We're not going to be really using that. Only using it to, like, if I have the remote, I need to make sure it's on, I'll vibrate, okay, it's good, and I'll collar her up. And then if we go to this side, this is the blue button. If we hold it, it goes off. And then if you hold it again, it'll turn on. On the screen, there's a number and then three bars for the battery life. One, if it's full, it's obviously fully charged. If it's the middle, I'd like to think it's 50%, and then when it's at the last bar, it's going to die soon. And then here's a knob. Clockwise is increasing it, then counterclockwise is decreasing. And these buttons right here, this is the nick button. This is the bumpy one. And the smooth one is continuous. The nick button is a quick nick. And this is the one we're going to be using. Continuous is, if I hold it down, it goes. It goes as well. So like the nick will be very quick, and if I hold it down, it won't continue. But if I hold down the continuous, the feeling and the sensation will continue. Obviously, it has a safety. I think after a few seconds, it'll turn off by itself, even if I'm holding it down. But we're going to be using the bumpy one because it's going to allow Zuma to think and process why she's getting nicked and the feeling of it. Versus continuous, it's a little stronger and it's a little longer than the quick nick. And then right now it's on her. It's fitted very, very tight because the contact points need to be making contact with her skin, and we can't have it moving around. So we want it either from the right jaw to the left jaw, like by the ears if needed. But we try to avoid having contact points on the Adam's apple and on the back of the neck. So like anywhere from here is good. Right now it's on her left side under the jaw area. And it's very tight. What else? This collar has two red dots, or this model has two red dots. You match them, they turn on. Turn it off, you want to hold it until you see the light on the collar go away. If you just quickly touch it when you want to turn it off, it's not going to turn off. So we like to press the vibrate to make sure it's off, because then your collar is going to be using battery over the night. The battery for this and the battery for that is separate. So if this is on full, that doesn't mean it's full. It could be on a red light or a yellow light, or orange, I think it's orange. But other than that, so when we're going to find the working number, the number that we'll be using for her training sessions and just training in general, we want to find two numbers first. So right now we're on 0. We want to find connection, then perception, then working. Connection is when we see maybe like a little twitch. So lets us know that we have connection, that the contact points are touching the skin, and we're good. And then we go a little higher, we get perception. So that means when if you hit a certain number, Zuma might look to her left for the boxes, and then maybe just ignore it after that. And then working number is the number that will get, maybe like if she's here, maybe she'll like move around to my right side and then sit here. We like to use a scenario for that. Let's say Zuma has staring at a squirrel or a dog. We start finding the working number. We see the twitch, but she's still looking at the dog or squirrel. Then we go a little higher. Then she might look at us or look around because she's feeling something, but look back at the squirrel. And then we hit a certain number where she fully disengages from the squirrel or dog. So that lets us know, okay, that number worked for this scenario, so we'll keep it at that. So same thing here. In this environment, this number works. So if you want to go to OzPark, the number might be different. Higher or lower, that's up to Zuma. I don't know what number will be the working number. So we're going to go ahead and start. I'm at 0. When I say tap, 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 that's my rhythm, and that's how many taps I'm tapping on the bumpy button. After 3 taps, if I don't get the reaction I'm looking for, we bump at 5, tap, 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 bump at 5, tap, 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 bump at 5. And then to know that we're a little too high or too much, I'll let you guys know what to look out for that, because we also might see some surprise. So we can get a surprise yelp just because it's something new to her. But as we go through the training, I'll vocalize, you know, I'm going to lower it down because of this, or I might go higher because of this. So right now we're at 0. She's running down. Okay. Try 5. So here, we're going to look at Zuma. Tap, 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 nothing. 10. Tap, 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 nothing. 15. Tap, tap, tap. 20. Tap, tap, tap. 25. Tap, tap, tap. 30. Tap, tap, tap. 35. Tap, tap, tap. Okay, but there's perception there, maybe. 40. Tap, tap. Okay, let's see what she does here. Good. I'm gonna have a tap, tap, tap. Okay, 45. Tap, tap, tap. 50. Tap, tap. Okay. So the first tap, she came here. Second tap, she was about to lay down. I'm gonna give it one more tap, tap. Good, you see that? So every time I tap, she did something. See that? So that's good. We didn't get any, there was no yelping, so I know we weren't too high. There was no kind of like a freak out. If she did freak out, it could have been that it's just surprising. It's a new feeling to her. But we're at 50. So if I give a tap here, see? Yeah, good girl. Yes. But yeah, 50. If we go on a walk at a busy park, it could be 60, it could be lower. As we go through the training, it could dip down because she's being more focused, so she's becoming more sensitive to it. But that's up to her. As long as we get this reaction with whatever number we're on, that is what matters. Because this number is going to be most effective in the training, and this will get us the best results, and it'll be quicker and a lot easier for Zuma to understand and for the handler as well. Right, Zuma? What else? So here I can already tap, tap. There we go. Alright, so we're going to get the camera perspective. Today we have Zuma. And in this video, we're going to be covering the heel command. So heel command is pretty straightforward. If I walk, or once in the heel command, Zuma's left shoulder should be aligned with my left leg at all times. So if I run or if I walk fast, she's glued to me. If I slow down, she's glued to me. If I take 5 steps, she takes 5 steps. If I take 10, she takes 10. If I go to a stop, she's to automatically sit down by my side. And this is all done with a slack leash in any environment. So that amount of focus is expected. For the automatic sitting, we're not saying sit or anything. That automatic sit is part of the heel. So you'll see how I go about that. And so that's what the heel is. Now the way we teach it is, what I'm going to be doing is probably I'm going to walk forward, and Zuma's probably just going to pass me. Once I see her right shoulder pass my left leg, I'm going to start tapping, and then I'm going to do a turn. Right now, I have some sausage with me, so I'm going to be rewarding every time when she feels pressure, just so that the pressure isn't, so just so like it's balanced, so it's not only just, you know, corrections and like the negative of balance. It's like we're making it more balanced with like incorporating food. If you decide not to take the food, that's fine, but I have a higher value food, so that if it was just her regular kibble, she might just, it's just my old kibble. I don't want that right now. This is weird. But if we have sausage, something like, she doesn't really have every day, she's going to want it more, and it'll make her more comfortable because she's thinking, every time I do this e-collar training, I get sausage. I love sausage. So then gets them more comfortable with it. So when I speak of slack leash, where's she going? Okay. We want a J shape, so something like this. Let's see. And we want to be relaxed and have the J. Although this is a J, this is very tense. We want it like about here. We don't want it too low, where Zuma will keep stepping over it, and we're going to have to keep pausing and adjusting. And we don't want it too tight, because then it won't allow her to make mistakes. We cannot correct it. So about here is good. Being relaxed, just keeping your movement is what you'll see me do. I'm not going to say heel. I'm not going to use any words because we're creating the foundation for her. So we'll go ahead and get started. I'm going to start walking that way for you. So no words, just going to start walking. And we're at 50 right now. That's what we found. I'm going to dip down to 35 just because it's been some time. Good. So here, tap. Good. So here, tap. Good. And then on a reward. Good. So here, turn tap, tap. Good. Good girl. Good. I'm going to bump it to 45. So here, tap, tap, tap. Good. Good. Slow turn. She's paying attention. Good. Tap, tap. Good. I'm going to bump it. 53. Good. And tap, 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 tap. Good. I'm going to bump it again. 60. Good. Tap, tap. Yeah, good. Tap, tap. Because of the lagging? Good. So here, tap, tap. Good. So when she goes to my right side, I pull left, not dragging her. I'm just giving her pressure to my left and then tapping. So here, tap, 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 tap. I'm going to bump it. Tap, tap, tap. Good. Again, tap, tap, tap. Good. Tap, tap, tap. Good. Tap, tap, tap. Good. Tap, tap. Good. Tap, tap. Good. Tap. Good. Tap. Good girl. So here, tap, 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 tap. Good. Oh, she dropped it. Here we go. Tap. Good. Got it. Good girl. Tap. Good. Tap. Good. Yes, good girl. Tap. Good. So if I slow down, she should slow down. Good. So here, tap. Good girl. Tap. Good. Good. And this is fine right here because I've been doing right turns constantly. She's assuming I'm going to turn right. I'm going to do one more walk. Good. Go. To your right turn. Good. Good. So here, tap. Good girl. Yeah. Tap. Good. Good girl. If I slow down, she slows down. That's showing me that she's paying attention. So here, tap, tap. Good. 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 So here I'm walking slow. I speed up, tap. Good. Try it again. I speed, I slow down, she slows down with me. I speed again. Good. Turn. I slow down. Good. And then I stop. Now for the automatic sits, what we want to do is, okay, good go. So for the automatic sitting, we pull up on the leash, keeping it static, so like this. So up, and then tap, 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 bump it, tap, tap, and then release, good girl. So keeping it, pressure up, and then tapping, and then once she sits, release. If we're having difficulty with it, what we can do is use the rear, our left hand, the rear, and then push down on the rear end, just to help her become comfortable with it. So again, right here, tap, tap, good girl. Tap, 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 tap. Good, and then release. So, a few things. When I walk, she passes, tap, turn. Right now, I'm at 87 for the sit, but throughout the walking, I was at like, I think I was like 60, I believe. We found 50, then we had to go up to 60 or 70, I believe. But there was never really a moment where I felt like it was too much, because she was responding appropriately, and she was comfortable with it, and that the food, it helped her a lot. I knew we were at a good number because I tapped and she ran to me, and I rewarded, which is good. Because when they feel this, we want them to know that come to me when you feel it and you don't know what to do. So like if she's past me and I'm walking that way, she's feeling it. She's like, what's this feeling? Oh, Enrique's going that way. What if I go to Enrique? Oh, it's gone. Perfect. When she lags, I tapped, keeping my movement. If she goes to my right side, I pull left, tap, 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 until she flushes to my left side and is staying here. I'm not dragging her or anything. I'm giving her the leash to make mistakes and correct appropriately with the e-collar. What else? And then I knew that it was pretty much, she was retaining it because retaining it because when I slow down, she slowed down. If I sped up, she would speed up. What else? That's basically it. Again, not saying any words, just the basic teaching what heel is. Hey. What else? What else, Zuma? I believe that's it. You know, giving the leash, slacking the leash, walking, keeping her movement. If she resists a little, or maybe she's pulling and she wants to go somewhere else, keeping her movement and just keep the pressure on until she comes to your side. But yeah, other than that, as long as her right shoulder is aligned with your left leg, you don't need to tap. You can keep walking. If she's paying attention, just do a slow turn because she should turn with you. If not, then we know she's not paying attention. Okay, break. Hi, it's Enrique Canine Perspective. Today we have Zuma. In this video, we're going to be going over the place command. So place is the commands where you send your dog to an object or area that has a clear perimeter. So here we're going to be using a dog bed. You can use a towel, a yoga mat, or you can get one of these lifted dog beds. Just as long as it has a solid perimeter so she knows what's on and what's off. So for example, I wouldn't say, I wouldn't tell her to place over there because it's just, there's nothing there. So here is obviously a clear objective to do. So she, once cued, she can lay down, sit down, stand, chew in a bone, whatever she like, as long as she doesn't hop off the perimeter or the object. She's only allowed off once cued break or free or whatever command that you're using to release her from a command. Let's see, what else? So this command is usually used when if you're gonna have guests over and they don't like dogs, you can tell Zuma place. She should go to her place by herself and lay there, or do whatever she'd like, chew on a bone. And it'll also make your guests comfortable because they're seeing, oh wow, they really have control with their dog, so it makes them comfortable as well. Right now we're at 37. I'm gonna dip down to 30. We'll stay 37. It's pretty low. And then without any words, we're going to create the foundation of it. Once we get a solid foundation, we'll incorporate the word place. So here, we're gonna take baby steps. So we're very close. And I'm gonna put my foot on here because sometimes when the dogs go on place the first time, they kind of overshoot it and they'll move the place. So I'm gonna hold it right here for Zuma. And what I'm gonna do, again, no words. I'm also using food, a little turkey. I'm gonna give leash pressure. And with the leash pressure, I'm gonna pair it with the e-collar. So I'm gonna be tapping. At the same time, I'm giving leash pressure to guide her. I'm not dragging her, just some guidance, and then the e-collar is the one that's making her go. So here's leash pressure. Give a tap, 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 tap. Relax, see what she does. Good, tap, good girl. So here, tap, tap, tap. Good, pressure's off. Tap, tap, pressure's off. Yes, good girl, Zuma. Yeah, and then break. I'll repeat it a few more times. So here, when they go by themselves, just hold them back. You don't need a tap for them to bring them back. So leash, tap, good. Good girl, Zuma. Break. What I'm going to start doing right now is switching sides. Tap. Good. Because if we practice on one side, break. Consistently without showing her the other pictures of the placemat. If we're practicing place on the other side, and then all of a sudden we come here, and we we're slowly increasing our distance and we're here, we say place, she might go around the placemat and go from the side that she's been practicing on. So leash, press, and tap, not press. Good girl. So here, tap, good. Yes, good girl. Break. And when you're increasing your distance, like a step at a time, taking your time. So here, leash, tap, good. Good, break. So now what we're going to start doing is tapping first, and then leash if needed. So I'm going to tap, give 3 taps. If she's struggling, I'll use the leash. So here I'm just going to give some slack, give a tap. Okay, so we're too high there. Go down to 35. Good girl. Good girl. Break. Try 30. Good. Tap. Good. Yes. Break. Shh. Tap. Good girl. Lower it again. Let's go down to 10. Good girl, Zuma. Yes, good girl. Break. Okay. Let her settle first. Tap. Good. Better response. Good girl, Zuma. Yes. Break. One more. See what she does. Tap. Good. Good girl. Good. So she's doing good. She's starting to recognize that the tap, or I'm starting to recognize that the tap is the one that's making her go to place. So the reason why we want to do these steps is because the leash and tapping is just the guidance to turn off the pressure. Then once we complete a few of those, we want to know is it the leash that's making her go to place, or is it the e-collar? And then it's the e-collar right here, which is what we want. We want to get away from the leash. The leash is there to help for the first few beginning stages. Break. But we want the e-collar to be the one that's doing the work. So here I'm going to increase my distance a few. So I'm here. What you're noticing, and I forgot to point out, is that I'm not walking her to place. So I'm about 4 feet away. I'm just going to go ahead and tap. Good. And then she goes there by herself. I'm not walking her there, so a lot of trainers will walk the dog. So break. The dog's here. They'll cue the word, so word, and they'll walk the dog here. And then that's going to become part of the command every single time, but we want Zuma to do it herself. Right, Zuma? Because Zuma is a big girl. Zuma, break. Good. So now we're going to introduce the word place. I'm going to cue it. If she goes there, no tap. If she does not go there, I will tap. Good. Just wait for a little bit. Place. So tap. Good. Good. Break. Place. No tapping there. Good girl. Yes. Good girl, Zuma. So cute. Break. Cutie Zuma. Cutie Zuma. Place. Yeah, good girl. There's your turkey. Break. When I dye my hair red, I'm going to show her Zuma. Place. No. My hair. This is a joke.
So you're going to look like Zuma?
No, never mind. Break. Here. tapping, good girl. So that's the first part of place. The second part is like the send off. So, no, the first part is sending off. The second part is like the duration. So I'm gonna go ahead and walk around. So right here, tap, tap, good girl. Shh. Continue my walk. Tap, tap, good girl. Continue my walk. Good girl. I'll reward her for that. The duration part of it. So, tap, tap, good. So when you're rewarding, tap, good girl. Tap, good. You can do one full circle. So one full circle of no mistakes, she gets pieces of turkey. Then you can do like 2 circles or 3 circles and continue to extend it. So here, good girl. Just when she does a good job, something you like. So she's good. When I was doing the walk around, I said there's just a few times she did try to hop off. You pause. So if I'm doing a walk around, pause, tap, see what she does. If she needs a leash, use the leash. But from what we saw at the end, she was retracting her paw back to the placemat. So she knows what's going on. Shh. Another thing is I'm not repeating place. So if she hops off place, there's no repetition of the words, and that goes for like most of the program. It's just corrections. Once you say place again, you're resetting. So it's like when she gets off when she wants, but she needs to go back there. And then you're going to keep saying place, place, place. Every time she hops off versus just correcting and providing consequence when she hops off the placemat. But this is like the duration part of it. For the duration work, you don't need to do the baby steps. So like how we were creating the distance, we want to do baby steps for that. For duration, right off the bat, you can already start doing, 4 hours, 5 hours if you like. So that's pretty much it. When you're practicing this, you can set up like a little, if you're gonna watch a movie, have her bed next to you, drop the leash, step on the leash. That's having a short leash on, and then your e-collar near you, and just watch a movie. Or if you're working from home, you can do some duration work as well. Setting the bed near you. So for the distance of sending and the distance of the duration, you want to keep it as baby steps. So for example, if you don't, so here we have columns and tethers, and then we have the placemats near the columns. The tether is long enough, the leash is long enough for Zuma to make the mistakes so that we can correct them, but she's also tethered, so we don't have to worry about her running all the way across the facility. We have to go get her and correct her and everything like that. So if you have a place in the facility, not in the facility, in your home where you can tether her to, because she is small, so she probably wouldn't, move anything heavy. But if you have that set up, you can use that as well. If not, start small with here. So like, if you're working from home, she's right here, then watching a movie, she's right here, and then slowly start to move her away, keeping the short leash on, because if she does get off, you can just grab this and then pressure and bring her back to the placemat. If you don't have your short leash on and you start her far away, it's going to be a constant just going, getting her, tapping, correcting her. But since you don't have the leash, you can't tell her what to do. And then with this new object you're going to be doing at home, you want to repeat everything I'm doing here. Even though she knows place here, she doesn't know place with the new object. So exposing her to that, to all sides, and then do a little bit of duration. Like I said, duration, you don't need to slowly increase it, because you just don't. It's just easier. What else? Just providing consequence. That's all it takes. But it's just for her being close with you is for mostly the owner. So it's just not such a hassle walking somewhere, correcting her, versus she's right here. You can correct as needed. If you're like in an office area, you can have her in the corner just because it's a small area. That works. I'm just trying to make it easier for you guys. For the duration part, if you want Zuma to know or just be comfortable with staying on the placemat for 4 hours, you want to practice for 5 because then you want 4 hours to be easy. If you want her to be good at 4 and you only practice for 4, around the 4-hour mark, she's going to want to maybe test the boundaries of like trying to get off because she knows, okay, this is like usually on the time they let me off place. But so practice for 5 if you want 4, you know, so on and so forth. If you want 6, practice for 7. So she can chew on a bone, she can stand, lay down, sit, do whatever she likes, or whatever you like. Your house, your rules. For us, we don't allow chewing on the bed or barking, so we correct that. If she's chewing on her bed, you can correct that. Just give her a tap on the number you've been using for your working number. What you might see is Zuma hop off the bed because she's associating the tap with the bed. So if that happens, keep tapping, tap, tap, take your time with it, and then bring her back to the bed with the leash, continuing to tap. What else? And then eventually she'll figure out, okay, this is, I wasn't getting tapped for the bed, I was getting tapped for doing something inappropriate. And then she'll learn to recognize that as time goes on. What else? So again, bed, yoga mat, towel, an area rug or couch, chair, whatever you like to use works, as long as it has the perimeter. Alright, so to get the camera perspective, today we have Zuma. In this video, we're going to be discussing using the word heel and turns. So when we're using the word heel, right now her number is 11, by the way. When we're using the word heel, we want to pair it with the left leg. So, so again, having your leash set up like this. I'm going to have the leash in one hand. So when you're doing that, I'll show you. When you want the leash in one hand, so instead of like this, because I'm going to be using food, having your thumb in the loop and locking it, and then to make the J, you want to grab higher up, and then using your pointing finger to lock it here. So you have a double lock system. If you wanted to do one hand, you would take the loop and just put it in your thumb like this. And then you can also have your remote if needed, and then you can reward with food. But that's what my setup is going to be, just letting you guys know. Come here. So again, when we say heel, we want to start with the left leg. So it's going to be heel, left leg, and then we start moving. If she doesn't follow, I keep my movement and I just tap. Heel, left leg, good girl. Slow turn. And if I slow it to a stop, she should sit. So, okay, come here. Good girl. Good. So again, heel, left leg. Good. Slow turn. Good. Slow to a stop. Good girl. Again. Good. Heel, left leg. And slow to a stop. Good girl, Zuma. So for right now, I'm drilling it out, heel, left leg, just so she's getting used to hearing the word and what's going to happen when the word happens. Eventually, it's just going to be, this is for now, like just literally just this video. But for now on, we're going to be saying heel, left leg, and then we don't repeat it unless she needs to go back and heel, unless we give break command or sit or down or whatever. So if it's heel, it's just heel for the rest of the walk. If we come to a stop, we don't have to say heel again. We just start with the left leg so she sees that visual cue. So yeah. Another thing, I would be saying, I'm saying slow to stop. So when we slow down for turns and stopping, so similar to driving a car, if you know you have to pull over or you have to stop, you give warnings, you give signals, your brake lights come on, you slow down slowly and then you pull over, or if there's nowhere to pull over, you still slow down slowly. put your emergency lights on, whatever you'd like to do with that. But for here, dog training is very similar. If we're going for a walk and we're going at consistent speed and it's already been like 30 minutes, and then if we just automatically stop, Zuma is probably going to keep going like, whoa, what just happened? Similar to driving as well. So if we suddenly just stop in the middle of the road, we're going to crash. So for Zuma, we want to let her know something's going to happen and or change. So we want to slow down, like 3 to 4 steps, and then we stop, so she's slowing down with us. So 2 things, we're letting her know what's going to happen, and for us, we're seeing if she's paying attention. So if we slow down, Zuma should be slowing down with us. And if she's not, tap, turn, and correct that. So here we're going to be doing the left turns first. Left turns start with the right leg. So again, heel, left leg. And I'm going to slow down because we're turning. I'm going to do right, left, right. Slow down. Okay, she's paying attention. Good. Right, left, right. Good girl. Slow down. Good. Right, left, right. Good girl, Zuma. Zuma. Good girl. Slow down. Right, left, right. 2 more. Slow down. Good. Right leg, left leg, right leg. Right, left, right. I'm going to slow to a stop. Tap, 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 tap. Good girl. Oh, it's a big piece. So we shouldn't be tapping during the turns. I'm just tapping here, just because she'll just notice she's starting to back up and then sit. If it was a little bit, it wouldn't matter. Just depends on the owner really. But that was a lot of space there, so corrected that. And then so for the turns, we don't say anything. It's just simply turning. If I slowed down and I noticed she wasn't aligned with my left leg, it'd be a tap and turn. So now we're going to discuss the right turns. So it's very similar to like, when we first taught heel, I said slow turn. It's very similar to that versus the correctional turns, which is just the immediate 180. So this is going to be more body language stuff. So, sorry, heel, left leg. Good, slow down. We're going to extend the left leg, go back on the right, and then back on the left. Tap, tap. Good girl. Do one more, a few more, not one more. So I slow, good. Left leg, right leg, left leg, good. I slow down. Left leg, right leg, left leg. Slow. Left leg, right leg, left leg. Good. One more. Good. So tap. Good. Left leg, right leg, left leg. And we're slow to a stop. So your tap. Good girl. So those are pretty simpler, more simple than the left turns. So now what we're going to be doing is mixing it up. So I'm going to do a few left turns, a few right turns. I'll let you guys know which I'm going to be doing. So yeah, so heel. I'm going to do a left turn here, right leg, right leg. Tap. Okay. Go down 10. 10 now, that's 20. So slow down. I'll do a right turn. left leg, right leg, left leg, good. Slow down, right, left, right, good girl. Slow down, left leg, right leg, left leg. So that was a right turn. I do a left turn right here, right, left, right. Slow down, right leg, right leg. Nice. Slow down, right, left, right. Good. So those are the left turns and right turns. Is how to stop, how to use heel. Basically more like training for like the owner. Good girl. Because the first heel video was for Zuma. This one is for the owner, just communication-wise, how to communicate to Zuma when, when you're in the heel. So when you're gonna practice your walks with the econ heel, you come out, don't put her in any command, just let her do her thing and let her potty. Once she's done with all that, whenever you're ready, cue the word heel and just start walking. If she doesn't respond, then tap until she comes to your side. We don't repeat commands, so if she doesn't respond to heel, don't repeat it. Just tap and keep moving. And then once she's in heel, go ahead and do 5 left turns, 5 right turns, mixing them up before your walk. It's kind of like a little warm up for you and Zuma. And then continue your walk. If you know she has to pee and she's kind of pulling to the grass, correct that. Then when she's if she's focusing in the heel, circle around, come back to the grass, slow to stop, then break her, because we want her to potty on your terms. So a lot of, usually like male dogs, when they have to mark, they'll just like mark, and then the owners just let it slide. But then that becomes more stuff with the, becomes an issue in the training as a whole. So like then he's gonna start to realize, okay, if I just pee whenever I want, what if I bark? What if I just like run ahead? Or what if I just break myself whenever I like, right, Zuma? So get that stuff out the way, correct as needed. When you're gonna do break, slow to a stop first and then release. So it's very like slowly, step by step, because if you come to a patch of grass and you're moving and then you release her as you're moving, then she's gonna start doing that impulsively, even if you don't say break. So that'll become an issue where she'll just release herself because she's assuming, oh, we're going to grass, let me just go there before you cue me. So we want to slow to a stop before the grass, then break. Right, Zuma? So cute. But that's it. Heel turns, heel, stop, turning, slow down. Good girl, break. Alright, so New Kid Camera Perspective. Today we have Zuma, our daycare and train. And in this video, we're going to be going over the stay command. So stay, as you know, it's stay there. So for example, I'm gonna put her into a heel. Heel. Good. Slow to a stop. So here, tap, tap. Good girl. So for right now, she's in a heel. So if we wanted her to stay here, we wouldn't say sit, because she's already in the sitting position, not the sitting command, because the auto sits is part of the heel. So if we want her to stay here, we would use the command stay. So stay is stay where you are, stay in that position. So if Zuma was in the kitchen laying down, we could say stay there. If you're in the heel and she's sitting here and you want her to stay, we would use stay here. So we're going to use heel and stay together just to show you how it's used. So with our left hand, we're going to wave it across Zuma's face, cue the word stay, and then we're going to pivot out in front of Zuma with the right foot, our right leg. So here, stay, pivot out with the right foot, face Zuma, pull up and tap, good. For the butt to go down, I'm at 13. Now what I'm gonna do is do a little walk around. And if her butt comes off the ground, I pause, I pull up, tap, good. Tap, good. Bump it up, go 15. Good girl. Good. Heel. Good. Slow to a stop. Tap. Yes, good girl. So again, stay, pivot out the right foot, face her, and just tap. Good. Good girl. So this leash right here, the way I have it set up is to make it easier for you and Zuma. So if I had it like this and she broke, she would make it to me. Come on. She would make it to me. So when we have it like this and we're away, so here, tap, so good. So she didn't make it anywhere near me. I held her here in that same spot and I'm pulling up and then tapping. So we want our arm extended like that to correct her. And then when we're correcting her, so if she gets up, she's still gonna stay. If she gets up, we pause, we pull up, and then we tap until the butt goes down. If Zuma's in the stay command and she's like this, and she kind of like her butt's on the ground, and she kind of just turns like this, butt still on the ground, that's fine. Zuma's just being very focused and trying to see what you're doing. That will go away soon. Once the butt comes off the ground, that's when we correct it. If she does kind of get up, we don't say stay, we just pull up and tap, correct as needed. And then and for every circle you do, if she does one with no mistakes, you can reward. Then you can do like 3 circles, 4 circles, reward. Yeah, so when we're pivoting out with the right foot, it's to help her differentiate the two. So left foot is heel, right foot is stay. In more advanced training, with no words said, if a handler has a dog in heel, they come to a stop, and then they start with their right foot, the dog automatically stays without hearing any cues or anything because he's reading the body language, or she or he. So that's just on consistency. It's nothing too hard to do. But from here, we want to do the right leg to help her differentiate the two, so that because she's seeing left leg, heel, heel, or heel, left leg, heel, left leg. So if we just move the left leg, she's going to be thinking, oh, that's heel. So we do the right foot just to help her out. And then for the duration of the stay, this walking around is just to like have her stay in the position while we're moving around. And then you can start extending like the distance and everything. If you do like happen to mistakenly have the leash like this, or she makes it here, you're gonna wanna tap her. So it's gonna be tap, 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 bring her back to the position, pulling up, tap, tap, until she sits down, and then do it over. So again, if she makes it to here, and I have her leash here, tap, 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 she sits, good. And we do it again. If you find that she keeps getting up and just keeps getting up, that means your number is too low. So right now I'm at 17. And she's still doing good. So I'm gonna go ahead and do one more in the heel. Heel, left leg, good. We'll slow it to a stop. Here, tap, 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 tap. Fix this set real quick. Tap, 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 good. Tap, tap. Yes, good, good. So again, left hand, stay, pivot out the right foot, face Zuma, tap, good. And I don't have tension here, it's just ready for it. So I'm not already just choking her up. I'm only choking her up and tapping when she gets up. Good girl, Zuma. Good girl, Zuma. Good. I'm gonna praise her. Just take a step back. She's still in stay. She stays. Good. Good. So when you're practicing this, what you can do is, if you're in a heel going for a walk, at a stop sign, stop light, since you're just standing there and waiting for the green light, you can practice stay there. So a quick stay, a little walk around, green light, you're good to go. Then heel, move on. If you're giving her a potty break, let's say she does the number 2, pick it up and everything, put her in a heel, come back to like the trash can, put her in a stay, and then throw away the trash, walk the distance to the trash, return her a good girl, and then heel and continue your walk. Home Depot allows dogs, so we'll bring the dogs for our training walk here and there. So when we're using stay there, we're going the side aisles, and as we're approaching the main aisle, we pause before entering the main aisle. We give the stay, we pivot out, and we see if there's any heavy machinery and or dogs there. If it's clear, we go back to Zuma, heel, and then we continue the walk. Hi, it's Enrique and Andy. It's Enrique and Andy with Canine Perspective. Today we have Zuma. In this video, we're going to be doing recall work. So I was at 20 for her last training session. I'm going to dip down to try 15. Since we're teaching something new, we want to go lower. So we have a few things here. So we have the long leash, just 30 feet long leash. And then we have a short leash. The short leash is to create separation between us. As we continue to do this exercise, you're going to start to see maybe that Zuma is going to want to just come to me instead of going back with Andy. It's just because she's trying to get the idea of it and she doesn't want to, go through the whole process of getting tapped and everything. So that's why we have the short leash. The longer leash is just to create the distance and make the command happen. If we were just doing this with 2 short leashes and we were trying to create distance, we wouldn't make it happen if we didn't have a leash on her or holding one, if that makes sense. We're going to be using food as well. So for the long leash, when we're handling it, we want our thumb through the loop and closing it. So here's a lock, and I'll have my remote in my right hand, and with my left hand, I'll hold the rest of the leash, and my right hand is reeling it in like this. So as she's coming to me, I'm going to be reeling it in, and since I don't want 30 more feet of her passing me, that's why we're reeling it in, and we're just letting it hit the ground. But once we've reeled in enough, we're going to take our pointer finger and kind of flip it like this, and then have this locked like that. So I'll show it again. So again, thumb here, e-collar here, reeling it in, and then locking it like that. What else? So we'll go ahead and just get set up. And he's going to go to the wall, and I'll stay here because I'll be doing the recall work. So I have the remote and long leash. Good. So first, without any words, we want to create the foundation. So we're going to be using leash pressure, right here. So right here, there's tension. So with this tension, we're going to be pairing it with the e-collar. What we're also going to be doing, so we're going to be doing a few things. So it's going to be tension and then e-collar. Once she starts making her way, I'm reeling it in, and I'm going to take 3 to 4 steps back. As she's coming to me, I'm going to hold and see what she does. If Zuma passes me, I turn, face her, 3 to 4 steps back, tap again, and move back. If she passes me again, I repeat it, face her, tap, 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 move back, hold, see what she does. The recall is supposed to be Zuma come. She comes 1 to 2 feet in her vicinity in a sitting position. We don't say sit, she just comes and sits, and then we reward, and she's not allowed to leave our side or the vicinity of us until given the release command. So here, Once I start tapping, so if you're doing this with a partner, to make it easier to create the foundation, if you want to do this, you would say when you're tapping so that the other handler knows when to drop the leash. Because you'll start to see that Zuma will just kind of bolt to me, and there'll be like a confusion where like the hand's like, did you tap? And the other hand's like, no. So just to make it easier. So here's tension. I'm gonna tap, tap, tap. Good. Reel it in. Hold. Good girl. Good girl. Break. And we'll say break every time she's moving away from us. Good girl. So here's tension. Tap, tap. Good. So there was a little bit of hesitation, so I gave her a tap just to keep moving to me. Good girl, Zuma. Good. Good. Break. Oh, sorry. So see, she's starting to put the brakes now when she's moving away from me. I think it's tangled around her neck, yeah. So good. So again, so here's the tension. Give it a tap, 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 good. Good girl. Good. Break. Yeah. And that's all normal. We'll do one more. Tension. Tap. Tap. Good. Good girl. Good. Break. So these next ones, I'm going to take that. There we go. So these next ones, it's going to be tap. We're going to be tapping first, then leash if needed. So we're going to start with the slack leash. So here, there's no tension, it's just all slack. And give a tap, tap, tap. Good boy. Good girl. Good girl. Break. Good. Tap. Good girl. Good girl. And if since she's on my right side, it doesn't matter what position she's in, as long as she's close. So she can be behind you, it's fine too. Okay. Break. So here, slack leash, tap, tap, tap. 3 to 4 steps back, reel it in, hold, see what she's gonna do. Good girl. And we'll do one more. Where's leash? Break. Tap, 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 good. Good. Good girl. Break. So on this one, we're going to be using the word Zuma come, or the cue. After we say Zuma come, we're going to immediately tap. And I'll explain why after. Zuma come, tap. Good. 3 forces back, hold. Good girl. Yummy. Break. Good. Hold her. Good, good. Zuma, come. Tap. Good. So, see what she does here. Good. Good girl. Good. And then break. You can go handle. I'll talk a little bit. So, the reason why we want to do Zuma come tap is because this is just going to be for the beginning stages. When we're outside and let's say we've been practicing, Zuma come, she's good, and we're not tapping, we don't need to tap. Shh. When it ends up being too late or we're too early, so like if we say Zuma come, she's coming, but then we kind of think she's not coming, we tap, there could be two responses. It could be a shutdown or a flight, because she's thinking she's doing something wrong, so she's probably going to run the opposite way. So Zuma come tap, just in the beginning. Once it becomes consistent and she's good with it, then we don't need to do it anymore. But yeah, see here. We'll do a few more. Go. Break. Go, go, go. So no tension. Zuma, come, tap. Yeah, good girl. That's what we got. Good girl. Break. Zuma, come. Tap. 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 Good girl. Break. One more. Yep, keep going, keep going. Okay. So when this happens, just keeping your movement. I don't need to tap or anything, just if she's struggling with the other handler, keeping your movement. Good, and we want to wait until she's settled. Zuma, come, tap, tap, tap. Good. Good girl. And we'll cap it here. Good. You're good. So for the break, the Zuma come tap, if she's not responding right away to the tapping, maybe the number's too low, but we still keep moving back until she hits the end of the leash. So like what we saw, I think it was in the beginning when I tapped the first time, she got closer to Andy because she's probably thinking heel. So once we hit the leash, it's kind of like a little hint for her, a little guide to come this way to turn off the pressure. But yeah, so again, Zuma come tap, 3 to 4 steps back. So the reason why we want to keep that 3 to 4 steps back consistent is because it's the visual for the recall. So if you're in a loud setting and you're yelling Zuma come and you're tapping and she can't hear you, but she feels the tap and she's found you, you can just start backing up and continue tapping until she's like, oh, that's recall. I know what that is. So when you're practicing this, because this setup is unrealistic, because it's people usually call their dogs from a running or like in motion. So if they're chasing something or running away. So when you're by yourself, bring your long leash, go to the park, let her just kind of roam around. And then you can, because you can do this by yourself. You don't need another handler. This was just to create the foundation of it. So when you're at the park, let her roam around, and then just do like a recall. Maybe like when you're going to end a little park session there. What you could also do is if she has like, she likes chasing squirrels, let her chase the squirrels, and then let her like chase the squirrel all the way up to the tree, for example, and she's trying to get the squirrel. Let her get lost in it, because the longer you leave her in that mindset, in that setting of getting the squirrel, the more she gets out of tune with you, and then all of a sudden, recall, Zuma come, tap, having your long leash as well. But for the squirrel stuff, you can change it up. Like you can do recall when she sees the squirrel, she's gonna head there, or when she's in mid-chase, when she's about to get the squirrel, change it up with the recall. A few things you don't want to do. So if you do have an area, a park where you can have access to, practicing recall there, you don't want to drill it out. So you don't want to just keep drilling out 4 recalls every single day, back to back, because then you're gonna start to see Zuma being very glued to you. So mixing it up like that. So like maybe one day do a recall when you're gonna head home or you're gonna leave. Do 2 recalls the next time. Don't do any one day. Mix it up kind of like that. Again, keeping that long leash on. What else? That's pretty much it, right, Zuma? If you do want to create like an in-motion recall, we'll start probably soon. So when Andy walks away with Zuma and she's moving, we can do a recall from there since she's moving away. So let's say we did the recall, she's here, break, and then Andy takes the leash, he's walking away. Before she hits the end of the long leash, I can cue it, Zuma come, tap, and see what she's gonna do. She's most likely gonna stick with Andy, but then the long leash she's gonna hit, and then it'll help her move her towards me. Then after the walking, you can do a little advancing forward, it would be jogging. So then Andy could jog with Zuma. Before she hits the long leash, Zuma come, tap, and then see how that goes. But yeah, that's it. Break. That's really good kind of perspective. Today we have Zuma. In this video, we're going to be going over the down command. So down, like you know, is once cued, the dog should just go lay down, basically. But we're going to be doing a little bit a different way with pressure, just to make it have a more meaning and make it more structured, instead of just having the little treat and then down and then having a difficult time giving consequence if it's broken. So here, I have my short leash and my e-collar. I'm gonna go low, go down to 10, because I was at 18 last training video. And then, so we're starting low because we're choosing something new. So here, what I'm gonna do with my left foot, we're not gonna say any words, by the way. It's just creating the foundation. Once we see comfortability with or consistency with just going down, then we can start adding the word. So what I'm gonna do is have my left foot on the leash, and I'm gonna be pulling up or just giving pressure down here. So once there's tension down here, I'm gonna pair it with the e-collar. We're gonna be taking our time with it, starting low, and then we'll go up as needed. So here, left foot. So if she sits, she's gonna put her back, if she stands, put her back in the sitting position. Good. So here, give it tap. 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 Good. Let's see what she does. Tap. I'm sorry. Oh my gosh. Zuma, you're so okay. Okay, we'll do it again. Break. I forget how light she is. Let's see here. So again, left foot. If she sits, Or she stands, we put her in the same position. Good. Then tap. 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 Wait, see what she does. Okay. Good girl. Good. And then break. Not to focus on where she goes down or how long she's down for, just getting her to go down. So again, tap. Pull her over here. Tap, 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 tap. Good girl. So I'm gonna change it up a bit. Instead of just having the leash alone, because she needs a little more guidance, break. I'm gonna be adding pressure on her back. So with my left hand, kind of like in an angle like this, pushing pressure. Nothing too forceful. If I'm using too much force, my number is not high enough. But yeah, just to guide her a little more so she's not zooming around. Good. Zooming around. So with the left leg, and then little shoulder here, and then a tap, 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 tap. Good. Once she's, so here, tap, tap, tap. Good. Good girl. So once I see her start going down, I give her time, break, see what she's gonna do. So pressure's off. Because if I'm tapping while she's gonna go down, it's confusing because she's gonna go down, but there's still pressure. So again, tap. Good. Okay, tap, tap. Good. Tap. Good girl. So here again, tap. Good. I need to feed you. Good girl. Break. Good. She's a lot more calmer with this way. So here, tap. Yeah, a lot better. Good girl. Good. Break. Oh, break. That's a good girl. You're doing good, Zuma. Tap. Good. Yes, good girl. Break. So since it's starting to become more easier, we'll try one more time. Tap. Good girl. Break. We'll now incorporate the word down. So I'm gonna have my foot on the leash still, just so so she's not running everywhere around me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, okay. I'm gonna cue the word down. If she goes down, there's no tapping, there's no help needed. If she's struggling, once I start tapping, I'll help her with the shoulders. So here, down. So here I'm gonna give a tap. Good girl. Break. Who's next to Winnie? Okay. You can put Winnie in the playpen too, because the maximum is like 6 to 8, I think. So, down. Give it a tap. Tap. Good girl. Are you down?
Yeah, good girl. You good girl, Zuma. Break it.
Good. Down. Tap. Tap. See what she's doing. Tap. Good. It's a big piece. Break. A few more. She's still kind of moving around. Shh. So here. Good. Down. Good girl. Good. Break. We'll do one more. Good. Down. Yes, good. So that's down. The last one, once cued, she went straight down. No need for tapping or any help. So she's understanding it. So when you're practicing this, what you can do is, if you're watching a movie and you want to practice the duration of the down, watching a movie on the chair, stepping on the leash, having your remote in hand, and then correcting as needed. Or if you're working from home, you can, if you're on your computer in the office, you can have her next to you, cue the word down, just so she's in a relaxed position. If you're like doing a walk and let's say you come across like a friend or someone you need to talk to for a while and you know you're gonna talk for a while, if she's in the auto sit and heel, she might just down automatically because she's gonna be tired. So I would just go ahead and cue the down and just practice there, just step on the leash for Zuma. But that is it. That's the down. All right, Zuma? Break. Hi, it's Enrique, Canine Perspective, and today, we have Zuma, our daycare and trained puppy, or dog. So in this video, we're going to be going over the sit to command. I'll work her into a down position, not formally down. I'll just lure her into the down and then I'll let her chill out for a little bit and then show how we do the sit from a down. But sit is very similar to like the way we teach auto sits. Auto sits for the heel command. So when we come to stop, Zuma is to automatically sit. If she does not sit, we pull up on the leash and tap. That's how we taught it. But now that she's learning that, it's just tapping. But when we're cueing the word sit and teaching it, we're gonna take a step back and resolve into the leash again. I'm gonna go ahead and fix her e-collar. It's hanging. But we're just gonna go off right off the bat, start using the word for Zuma here. And I'm also using treats to make her more comfortable with it. So here. So this is her working number, 11. So right here, if I tap again, I did not tap, good. So this lets me know this is the appropriate number for her. Good girl. Yes, take the treat. So now, like I said, let's see where she does here. I'm not tapping it, just. Good. Good girl. Good. Tap. Good. Good. So when we're doing sit, tap, tap, Good. So when we're doing sit, again, leash pressure up after we cue the word. So it's gonna be sit, pulling up and then tapping. Sit, tap, good, tap, good, tap, good, good girl. We can break, and we can also do from standing. So similar to this, when she's moving, we can cue the word sit and then immediately pull up on the leash and tap. So for example, sit, tap, good, and then relax, good. Good girl. So here, tap, 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 good. So I drop the treat, but that does not mean she can break the command. So here, tap, tap, good. Okay, good. And then break. Yeah, good girl, Zuma. Good. Sit, tap, good. So when I cue it, I immediately pull up on the leash and tap just to teach it. Eventually, let me see here, we can start weaning off the leash. Break the leash. Good girl. Sit, tap, good. Good girl. But I'm gonna do this a few more times until I see some consistency. Break. Yeah, Zuma. Yeah, Zuma. Good girl. That's a good girl. Sit, tap. Good. Good girl. Tap. Good. Do a little walk around here. Yeah, break. Yes, good girl, Zuma. Sit. Good. No tapping, no leash. So you can, go ahead and attempt it, see where she's at with it, because we want the sit to be immediate. Break. Yes, Zuma. Good. Sit. Good. So again, when teaching it, I'll do a few more for you to see. Break. Good girl. So she's moving. I'm gonna go ahead and cue it. Sit, up and tap. So that was a little too high. No worries, dip down. Let's try 12. Good girl. Good girl, yes, a good girl. Break. Yeah. Sit. There, no tapping, no leash. So typically, I like to see where she's at. But typically it goes, up and tap, and then it's just sit, see what we get. And if she's still having a hard time, we might keep repeating that, and then maybe just do e-collar instead of the leash so we can get rid of the leash. But she's really solid. Break. So again, see, sit. Good girl. And then after you're doing a few, getting her into the sit, you can do a little bit of duration. So if you're walking around her, have your leash set up like this. If she gets up, pause, pull up, and then tap. Good girl, Zuma. Yes. Break. Yes, good girl. Good. Good. Go down, go down, go down, go down. Yeah. Good. Oh, the treat got stuck in her fur. There we Wait. Okay, there we go. Good girl. So here, sit, tap, tap, good. So there's two ways, the down to the sit. So if you want to practice downs and sits, down stays the same way like in the previous video, and then sit, just from that position, you're pulling up and tapping like I'm doing here. If you want to mix it up and strengthen the reliability of the sit, you can do that second exercise I was doing where I'm walking around her. Sit, pull up and tap. So here I'm gonna go correct this because she was in the sit, so I'm just give a tap. Good. And tap. Pull up. Good. Good girl. So, so if she decides to do that, correct. I don't repeat it, I just correct. And with all these stationary commands we're teaching, so down, sit, place, and then stay, we always want to change the command when we're near her. So, or change it or break it. So if I knew I wanted Zuma to be released, you saw me approach her, I gave her a little scratch, you can do whatever, and then break, I go to her. I don't do it from a distance because if we teach, for example, sit, Good girl. If I have her sitting here and I go to this wall and then I do recall, that can cause a few issues. One, you're teaching Zuma that she can be released from a stationary command when you're not near her. So then that can cause a few things like, if you need her to stay here for real and you want to walk over here to do something, she might, she already knows, okay, we practice recall from distance. So it's like sit, stay, come here, and then you come here and then do Zuma come. So when you practice that routine, you can create an issue where if you walk away and you turn to her, she might break because she's expecting you to recall her or break her, or release her, break. So that's one thing. And then, so she's thinking that, but then you also get that premature breakage where, you walk away and she's already thinking, he's gonna release me because I know what this is. We've been practicing this all day, every day. So I'm just gonna go release myself before he calls me. So that's where you can get issues. So if we only release Zuma and change commands when we're near her, so for example, we break her here, for recall, we only do it when she's either with someone else, two people, or when she's out wandering being Zuma. We never do it from a stationary command because we get those issues. But just keep releasing her when you're near her. Only make her think that she's only able to be released from a command when we're here next to her. So if you wanted to advance your training into you want to down her outside of a Starbucks, go inside the Starbucks, you need to have her know that I only am able to move from this command when my mom, dad is next to me. Because then, it's the same thing when you're in Starbucks, she's like, she's over there. I've been released when she's away from me, so what if I just release myself? So yeah. That's a sit command, but she's doing good. Nothing out of the ordinary. You're starting to see her progress and understand the e-collar. When she laid down, all I had to do was tap. She sat, and then she's like, I'm tired. And then she wants to lay down again, tap again. She sat, and then she stayed sitting. And here she is still sitting. So she's understanding the e-collar without me having to pull up in the leash for her. You want to practice the leash in the beginning. Eventually, you'll start to wean off it and then use the e-collar. Because we do want to get rid of the leash. And I don't mean detach the leash from her and get rid of it. I mean stop using it to help her. Just use the e-collar. So as my rule, our rule is like you give 3 taps, if nothing, and she's still struggling after you bump it 5, maybe, if she's not feeling it, then you can resort to the leash for that. But typically, once we go along the training, we won't have to use the leash guidance anymore. But yeah, that's it. Zuma, break. It's a good girl. Good break.